townspeople are simply disappearing?
Yes, it seems to be more every day.
The more people complain about you in this town,
Forget it. You won't get a single coin.
Then I'll take everything you have.
Zdravím vás, gamery, vážení diváci, vítajte v tretej epizóde Gothic 2, kde naposledy sme sa túlali okolo farmy. Sice sme slúbili jednu láskavosť pánovi obchodníkovi, ale čo s tým narobíme? Dostali sme nejakého piráta alebo koho do mesta a máme priepustku, takže poďme na to, poďme sa povzerať po mestečku a uvidíme čo... Ojojoj, to bude asi pán Paladín, že?
Halt, stranger. I am Lothar, paladin of the king and humble servant of Innos.
Nazdar.
Your lord. Our commander, Lord Hagen, has entrusted me with the task of explaining to all newcomers the new laws which apply to all inhabitants of the city. Since people have started simply vanishing all over this town, everyone needs to watch out that they don't suffer the same fate.
That's the first I've heard of it.
No dobre.
The townspeople are simply disappearing?
Yes, it seems to be more every day. It's most annoying that the militia have still not been able to discover what's behind these strange occurrences. Small wonder that the town's inhabitants are very wary of strangers right now. So don't provoke them when you're in town. Understood?
Rozumiem.
All right. Explain the rules of the city to me.
First, the Honorable Paladin Lord Hagen resides in the upper quarter, along with his troops. That is why access to the upper quarter is allowed only to honorable citizens. Second, the town hall in the upper quarter is now the command post of the paladins.
Dobre.
Only the paladins themselves and members of the militia have access to it. And third, whoever is accused of a crime must exonerate himself with the commander of the militia. Any questions?
Enough trouble.
How do I become a citizen of the town?
Only those with regular jobs will be considered citizens of the town. But don't think that you'll be admitted to Lord Hagen just because you're a citizen of the town. As a citizen, you have access to the upper quarter, nothing more. Only as a member of the militia will you have access to the town hall.
You really didn't deserve that.
Where can I find work?
You'll have to apply as an apprentice to one of the masters here in the lower part of the city. As soon as a master accepts you, you are a citizen of the town.
Paráda.
However, the other masters must agree to it. That's the custom here in Khorinis.
To sme
If you were thinking
dopadli.
about looking for work in the harbor district, forget it. The scum of the city live there. Don't even go there. You would regret it.
How do I get to the upper quarter?
Say, are you listening to me at all? You're not a citizen of this town. You can save yourself the trip. The guards won't let you in. The entire area behind the inner gate is off limits to you.
Predpokladám, že to je tam vpravo hore, čo teraz vidíme.
How do I get accepted into the militia?
By express command of Lord Hagen, only citizens of the town will be admitted into the militia.
O, čerta.
I see.
If you want to know more, speak to Lord Andre in the barracks.
Ďakujem.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
What do I have to do
No,
to
to
armor
by
like
som
yours?
veľmi rád.
What? You aren't even a member of the militia. You're not even a citizen. How can you even think of being allowed to wear the armor
Lebo
of a
som mal
paladin?
parádnu zbroj na
Only
konci
a few
Gothic
militia
jednotky.
soldiers, those who have performed extraordinary deeds, have. If you want to be a paladin,
Dobre.
you have a long road ahead of you, my boy.
Ďakujem, no.
that doesn't surprise me.
Where can I find the commander of the city guard?
Lord Andre can be found in the barracks at the other end of the city.
I never knew that.
Where can I spend the night here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the hotel directly
Ďakujem,
across from the
no.
barracks. The paladins pay for the lodging of all travelers who come to the city. The traveling traders from the marketplace are also lodged there.
Doesn't surprise me.
I have an important message for the leader of the paladins.
The Honorable Lord Hagen is not receiving anyone. Lord Andre, the commander of the city guard, is responsible for all issues.
Takže...
Listen, the city is threatened by dragons.
That can't be true. Another lunatic. We have enough unrest in the city
Hey.
as it is. And without some dimwit scaring people with fairy tales about dragons, I immediately locked up the last person who was here telling dragon tales and sent him to the Valley of Mines with the prison transport. so mind your tongue. We can't use anyone here who spreads panic among the people.
Neviem, či to je práve panika.
Somebody already reported the dragons here?
Yes. The fellow's name was
Diego!
I think so, in any case. I warned him just like you. But the lunatic just wouldn't stop getting on my nerves.
I have come to get the Eye of Innos.
The sacred Eye of Innos? How do you know about that? You're not a member of the order.
Mám svoje zdroje.
A magician told me about it.
I don't know what his motives were when he entrusted one of the secrets of our order to you. But he certainly didn't mean for you to get your fingers on it.
But
I don't want to hear any more about it. First you start with fairy tales about dragons, and then this. Incredible.
Ale.
I've got to go.
If I hear one more time that you are telling people here about dragons.
Dobre. Len pre také overenie predpokladám, že toto... Hej, to vyzerá ako horné mesto.
Halt! Only the citizens of the town and the...
Mustn't believe everything you hear. Couldn't we make an exception?
What? There are rules in this town. If we let you...
Dobre. Ja som sa chcel overiť, či je to naozaj to horné mesto. Dobre, Mešťan. Počkať, už aj je zle. Tak, čo máme tu? Je to moc akože je to moc daleko.
I'll never get this open without the right key.
Dobre.
Halt! No one may enter the storeroom!
Why can't anyone enter the storeroom?
The Honorable Lord Hagen has confiscated the goods for the King's army.
Tam tá krabica, tam tá truhla vyzerá velice dobre. No dobre, tak sa tu poobzeráme. Potrebovali by sme nejako zohnať lepšie oblečenie.
What can I do for you?
What are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even I still have a special piece in stock. Double hardened armor of snapper leather, still unused. Interested?
Oh.
What do you know about paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
The paladins seized your goods.
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the entrance to the yard. If I'm lucky, they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
What? What are you going to do there?
I've got an important message.
Well, well. Have you tried getting past the guards?
Oh man, forget it.
That's typical of those beggars. I don't know how important your message is, and it's none of my business. But even if you told them that a ship full of orcs just anchored in the harbor, they'd send you away. Because they have their orders.
Teda dobré. 250 zlaťákov. Keď by som ich mal.
Show me your where.
Keď by som... Akože šípy by sa hodili. Ale nemal by som asi míňať peniaze, že? 250 zlaťákov, to musíme niekde zohnať. Potrebujeme zbroj. Tento typek.
Hello, stranger. You must be hungry and thirsty. Perhaps I can interest you in my wares.
Ale ešte.
I was actually on my way to see the paladins.
There's little chance of that.
Ja, dobré.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
Me? No. There are a few people in the lower city who have an... Mateo, my boss, is one of them. Maybe you should talk to him.
Ďakujem.
Where can I find Mateo?
You're standing right outside his shop. Just go on.
Aha, on býva vonku.
What about the other
The merchants and master craftsmen here on the main street are the most important figures in the city.
Super.
You should try to get accepted by one of them as an apprentice like me. Since I started working for Mateo, the people in the city treat me with respect.
To je pekné.
I need some money.
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers. His shop is right over there. They say he pays pretty well.
No dobre. Počkaj, čo máš na predaj, ukáž.
What do you have?
At the moment, the damned land...
Ale dobre.
Tell me more about the peasants' revolt.
It's quite simple. Onar, the fat landowner, won't pay any more taxes to the city. Imagine, we're at war with the orcs, and that fat slob wants everything for himself. Normally, the city guard would take firm measures in such cases. But now comes the best part. They say Onar has hired mercenaries to keep the troops from the city off his back. Mercenaries. The whole thing will end in a damn war.
Ak jej nezabránime.
What do you know about Onar's mercenaries?
I heard that most of them are former convicts from the mining colony, and their leader's supposed to have been a big shot with the king, a general or something, whom they put away as a traitor. These are terrible times.
To bude asi Lee, že? Dobre, no. To si mi veľmi nepomohol, ty chlapíku. Čo máme tu?
Welcome to my shop, stranger. I am Bosper. What brings you to Khorinis?
I need to get into the upper quarter.
Where the paladins are? Forget it. You need to be a respected citizen here, or at least hold a decent job. As a stranger, you stand no chance of
to ďakujem, to mi hovoríte
všetci. I noticed. I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. The last one just gave up his job 2 days ago.
Prečo?
Do you know anything about hunting then?
Well...
I could teach you how to skin animals. I'll pay you well for every skin you bring me.
No a prečo nie?
What if I want to sign on with one of the other masters?
Balderdash. Harrod and Matteo already have apprentices. Constantino the alchemist is a loner, and he hasn't taken an... And as for Thorben, everyone knows he's dead broke. He probably couldn't even pay you. I, on the other hand, am an urgent need. But no matter where you want to sign on, you need the approval of all other masters from the lower part of town.
Will I get your approval to sign up with a different master?
All right. You shall have my approval. Work for me, at least for a short time. That way, you can find out for yourself whether you like it. And who knows? Maybe you'll end up liking it, and you'll stay with me. If you're good enough to sign on with me, you're also good enough for all others here.
A prečo sa vzdal?
Give up his job.
All he said was that it had become too dangerous out there. If you're really interested, then you can ask him yourself. His name is Bartok. He's probably hanging out near Corrigan's Tavern. Go through the underpass from the smithy, then you're headed straight for it.
No dobre. Ešte sa akože znie to dobre, prečo nie? Loviť znamená získavať skúsenosti a pôjdeme niekam von. Chvíľa.
What with?
Mestská stráž. Pekné mestečko.
Hey.
Fresh face. You're not from Khorinis, are you?
Yeah.
This is not a good time for travelers. Bandits everywhere. No work, and now the farmers have risen up too.
Ale.
What winds have blown you here?
What do you know about the paladins?
Not much. They arrived by ship 2 weeks ago from the mainland. Since then, they have withdrawn to the upper end of town. Nobody here really knows exactly why they have come. Many are afraid of an attack by the orcs.
I suppose,
however, that they are here to quell the farmers' rebellion.
Do you know anything about the peasants' rebellion?
Rumor has it that Onar, the landowner, has hired mercenaries to keep the king's troops from breathing down his neck. He was probably tired of having to throw his harvest along with his livestock at paladins and militia. All we notice of this in town is that the food prices keep rising. Onar's farm lies far to the east of here. We wouldn't know if there's any fighting going on there. And if you want to know more, ask the merchants in the marketplace. They get around the island more than I do.
I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about carpentry?
The only thing I can make out of wood is a fire.
And what about locks?
Well...
I'm sorry, but I can't use you if you know nothing about my trade. And I have no money to pay for an apprentice.
What if I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the other masters here?
All right, I shall give you my approval. But you had better get yourself the blessing of the gods first.
A do čerta.
Say, are you a man of faith?
Well, if you mean, do I say my prayers regularly?
I see. A man who does not ply his trade with the blessing of the gods. Ask for the gods' forgiveness for your transgressions. Then go to Vatras, the priest of Adanos, and have him give you his blessing. He will tell you where you can find a priest of Innos. You should get his blessing too. Once you have received the blessing of the gods, I shall vote for you.
Ďakujem.
So, you know a lot about locks.
What good is a fine chest without a fine lock? I make my own locks. That way, I can at least be sure I haven't built my chest that sturdy for nothing. A poorly made lock is easy to break. And there are plenty of thieves about in Khorinis, especially lately.
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
I don't know whether you can be trusted or not. For all I know, you might be one of... I'm not going to teach you anything before I'm convinced that...
Je to dobré.
Have you had an apprentice before?
Yes, and not too long ago.
And what happened?
His name is Elvrich. He's my nephew. I was quite pleased with him, actually, but one day he simply didn't show up for work.
To je veselé.
Have you reported that to the militia?
Of course I have. They were supposed to catch him and see to it that the lazy bones does his work, but I already regret that. He can do whatever he wants. Sooner or later he'll realize he'll get nowhere in Khorinis without a decent job.
Is that so?
Is that so?
How long has it been since you saw him?
I guess it must be about 2 weeks.
Where is Elvrich now?
How would I know? He kept hanging around that filthy brothel by the harbor. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still warming the bed of some whore down there.
No dobre, chlapíku. Môžeme ísť dovnútra?
What do you want, stranger? If you've come to beg, I must disappoint you. I am a poor widow. My name is Greta. Ever since my husband died, I have been running the household for my uncle Thorabin.
How's it going?
Same as always, but I don't want to complain.
How's it going?
Same as always.
Ono vlastne, teraz nemyslím uražlivo, ono ženy v jednotke Gothic boli len u Gomeza, že na hrade ako, no, nedobrovoľné služobníčky, že?
Hey, you, wait, you look familiar to me.
What do you want?
I've seen your face before somewhere, right?
Á, do čerta.
Here, we found this picture on some bandits we picked up a few days ago. It looks a lot like you. Apparently, those guys were looking for you.
Gee, I'd never have thought of that myself.
Very funny. What did those guys want from you?
Ask them yourself. You've got them safely locked up, haven't you?
No, they're dead.
I guess we'll never know then.
If you're in some kind of trouble, go talk to Lord Andre. Maybe he can help you. You'll find him in the barracks.
No, asi by sme to mali spraviť radšej, nech sa pobavíme so šéfom. Vatras! Oh.
Hey, you!
Adanos be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of Adanos, the guardian of the divine and earthly equilibrium. What can I do for you?
Tell me about the ring of water.
Práve.
And why would I do that?
Ale...
Cavalorn sent me to you.
And what did he tell you?
He said you're in dire need of more good people.
Aha. So, you want to join us, son?
Nie som si istý ešte.
Tell me about...
And why...
Dobre.
Here, I've got a letter for you.
For me? Indeed. This is an important message you're bringing me. I wonder how you got hold of this letter.
I got it from Cavalorn, the hunter.
Cavalorn? Where is he?
He told me to tell you he couldn't make it and is headed for the meeting point. Whatever he meant by that.
I see that you have gained Cavalorn's trust. That speaks in your favor.
To som rád.
Tell me
And why would I...
Ja som si myslel, že mi môže aspoň povedať.
Tell me about the gods.
What exactly would you like to know?
Všetko od začiatku, prosím ťa.
Tell me about Beliar.
Beliar is the dark god of death,
Satan.
and all things unnatural. He is in eternal battle with Innos, but Adanos guards the balance between the two. Only a few humans follow the call of Beliar. However, he grants great strength to those who do.
Super.
Tell me about Adanos.
Adanos is the god of the center. He is the scales of justice and guardian of the balance between Innos and Beliar. He commands the power of change. His gift is the water in all the oceans, rivers, and lakes. His priests are the water mages, just as I am a servant and priest of Adanos.
To je super.
Tell me about Innos.
Very well. Innos is the first and highest god. He created the sun and the world. He commands light and fire, his gifts to humanity. He is law and justice. His priests are the magicians of fire. The paladins are his warriors.
To je dobre vedieť. A to sme vedeli o bohoch.
I'm asking your blessing.
Why should I give you my blessing, stranger?
I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the masters in the lower part of town.
Go with the blessing of Adanos, my son.
Ďakujem.
Where can I find a priest of Innos?
The best thing would be to look around the marketplace. You will find an emissary of the monastery there.
To ti ďakujem. Dobre, môžeš ma niečo naučiť o mágii, kebyže chcem?
Only the chosen of Innos and the chosen of Adanos are, but common mortals can also work magic. I can show you how you can channel and
Ďakujem, čo to znamená?
I want to...
to je posilenie many, čo? No, v jednotke bol taký zádrh, že som potreboval chvíľku posilniť manu na istý quest. Čo sa deje tu?
Hey, you're new in town.
Yes, and what about you?
I've come from the mainland, and now I'm hanging around here. I'm almost out of gold, so all I can do now is... But I don't want to do that. I won't be slaughtered by those orcs on the king's behalf.
Go away, don't tell me that.
What can you tell me about the militia?
One of the paladins has taken command. A certain Lord Andre. He's trying to mobilize half the city in case the orcs attack. But you need to be a citizen of the... As far as I know, if you're not a citizen...
Dobre.
What else? He has taken over the position of judge as well.
Do čerta.
If you cause any trouble... I was once in a brawl with us. He went crying to Lord Andre and ratted me out. That little matter, I was lucky that it happened at night, or others would have witnessed it. The more people complain about you in this town...
No to je super.
Who did you fight with?
With a fellow named Valentino. I'm not usually a violent person.
It can't go on like this forever.
Has anything...
You could say that. They robbed Bosper the bowmaker. What a brave fellow just ambled into the shop in broad daylight and grabbed himself a bow. And Bosper right after him, hollering, "Stop!"
No super. Miešťanka, miešťan, s tými sa teda neoplatí. Bartok!
How's it going?
You're not from around here, are you?
Where did you hang around before?
In the woods, hunting scavengers and wolves, together with some hunters. But I gave it up. These are dangerous times.
Pick that up then. Where can I find the other hunters?
We had our camp outside near the tavern, halfway to Onar's farm. But I don't know whether there is anyone left in the camp now. There used to be 2 of us here in town, until a few days ago. My friend Trokar is an excellent hunter.
Vosper said you used to work for him.
Yes, I did, but he was only interested in his blasted hides. I told him how dangerous it's gotten out there. He didn't really listen to me. Well, anyway, he paid well. I can't complain about that.
Can you tell me anything?
Vosper had one of his bows stolen recently. Some guy just waltzed into his store. The thieves are getting more and more.
Šikovný zloděj.
So, where is your friend Trokar now?
Well, only a few days ago, we were both standing at... Don't ask me what happened next. I had had a few by then.
To som rád.
I vaguely remember Trokar saying that he was going out to get a few swamp weed reefers.
Nie.
Where does one get swamp weed reefers?
Somewhere down at the harbor.
Believe everything you hear.
Didn't you go looking for him?
No, but I reported it to the militia.
No to si šikovný.
They haven't been able to find him yet. I hope he didn't get attacked. I'm afraid that I'll stumble over his body someday when I don't think I could bear that.
Dobre, trošku to urýchlujem, lebo tie rozhovory sú...
Really, how interesting.
Can you teach me something about hunting?
I can teach you how to sneak properly. If you want to learn how to skin an animal, go to Vosper.
Dobre. To nepotrebujeme. Toto je krčma? Dobre. Valentino.
Well, what have we here?
Have you no manners? Oh, is this filthy rabble. But I suppose no one would miss a down-at-heel fellow like you, hey? Well, if you had as much gold as I do, you wouldn't have to work either. But you'll never be that rich.
Hey!
I see I'm gonna have lots of fun with you.
Dobre, mlátiť sa s ním nebudeme, aspoň zatiaľ. Pobavíme sa s pánom krčmárom.
Can I get a drink here?
If you have gold.
Dobre.
Tell me about the missing townspeople.
I heard that a lot of them went missing down by the harbor. Small wonder with all that's going on down there.
Takže v prístave.
Even Thorben, the carpenter in the lower part of town, has lost his apprentice. Hakon, one of the merchants in the market, he said that there was this fella that he used to bump into every day, and then suddenly he vanished off the face of the earth. He even went to see the militia about it. Townspeople all pretty much panicked. Khorinis is a rough city, and many danger those who don't stay within the city walls.
Mám taký pocit, že Khorinis je tam nebezpečný o sebe.
And how's business going?
Don't remind me. Lord Andre is serving free beer at the gate. Hardly anybody comes here now.
What's wrong with them?
Some of those swells take that Valentino for it. But I can't pick my customers. What little I had managed to save has been stolen, along with all...
You've been robbed?
Yep, some time ago. It was still rather crowded that night, and I was doing the rounds serving beer. I wasn't gone long from behind the counter, but it was long enough for those bastards.
Tu máme normálne dobrý zlodejský cech.
I went to see the militia about it, but they couldn't find a thing, of course. Yeah.
What do I have?
Well, you need to be a sit, preferably with a crack.
Dobre, to sme počuli.
Still, maybe he'll let you join the city guard.
Byť členom mestskej stráže, to sa mi celkom páči. Kde to nájdeme? Dobre, čo je toto tu?
The security measures for the protection of the upper quarter will be further strengthened. The guards on the gates are ordered to interpret the law in the strictest sense in order to prevent unauthorized entry.
Fíha. No, poviem to takto, toto mesto je oveľa väčšie, ako bol vôbec starý tábor v jednotke, čo je teda úžasné. Je tu krásne počasie touto tmou. Dobre. Kam by sme mali ísť teraz? Kde sme sa túlali predtým? Tu sme sa túlali, tu je obchodík. Dobre, taďal to. Wow, to je obrovské. Ja to akože raz darmo. Pekné bývaničko.
Hey, I don't know you. What do you want here? Are you headed for the tavern?
O, prečo nie?
Who said that? You don't have to ask me that.
Yes, do you mind?
You've got no business here, runt.
That's exactly what I said. Only cause more
Calm down. All I want to do is drink a beer.
Okay, but it'll cost you 50 gold pieces.
Do you really
think
I don't want to hear that anymore?
Forget it. You won't get a single coin.
Then I'll take everything you have.
Á, do čerta! Ne. To máš smolu, chlape. A on fakt ide za mňou. To si robíte srandu, že ide za mňou. Né! Potrebujem pomoc. To akože ignorujú, alebo čo?
Stop it, right now.
Počkajte, ja to mám nechať?
There's to be no fighting here, and don't you forget it.
Môžem sa nejako postaviť?
Well, at least you've got some gold on you.
Toto ale bolo pekné svinstvo. Počkať.
We'll see about that.
No čo?
Do I have to show you?
You know your way about the harbor, don't you?
Sure thing. Why?
What kind of rumors are floating about?
Around here, we don't like people who ask.
Dobre.
Why don't I see any...
They don't dare come in here. We take care of
No, takže taká drsná štvrť, no.
How's the ship?
The only ship that's come here recently is...
Najda dobre balátínska galéra, to vieme. No, ďakujem. Sice ma parádne zachránil ten týpek, že... Dobrá, čo môžem robiť, ako... Najhoršie teraz je... Jejda. Lieči ma to vôbec? Nechcem používať tie lektvary. Ďakujem za záchranu, Pablo.
What do you know about...
They've all come from that blasted mining colony. Some are holed up, but it's the bandits outside of town who caused the most. They're the reason that none of the merchants...
Where did the...
We picked them up near the landowner's place.
But
they didn't look like own... I think they're part of a smaller group, which is holed up in... But if you intend to go there, let me warn you. Those cutthroats make...
I'll remember that.
Ale hlavne potrebujeme nejakú lepšiu zbroj ako túto základnú. Počkať! Ja som sa zlakol, že mi zobrali toto všetko, dobre. Dobre, ešte by som chcel v tejto epizóde. Tam hore nemôžeme ísť, tu sme teda boli. Na druhej strane mesta má byť Lord Andros, že? Tak, to by som rád našiel. Takže do prístavu, tam je to samý chuligán. Tam je ten chrám. Takže logicky druhá strana mesta je tu niekde. Počkaj, tu sme neboli, myslím. A nie, tu sme boli. Hostinský to. No počkaj, logicky toto by mohli byť kasárne, nie? Ty? Sú to kasárne, alebo nie sú kasárne? Čo je toto za budovu? No to sú kasárne. Dobre, je to pán veliteľ? Pán veliteľ!
Enos be with you, stranger. What brings you to me?
I've got an important message for Lord Hagen.
Well, you stand before one of his men. What is this about?
That I must tell...
Suit yourself. But you should know one thing. Lord Hagen receives only paladins, or those who are in the service to paladins. It is beneath his dignity to waste his time with members of the common folk.
Ďakujem, no si milý.
Why are you paladins in town?
The goals of our mission are secret. I can only tell you that there is no danger for the citizens of the town. You need not worry.
Ja sa nebojím, ale tí draci si nebudú vyberať.
I've come to collect the bounty for a criminal.
Akú?
I want to take up service with the paladins.
Good. I can well use every able man here, no matter what his reasons for joining us.
Dobre.
If you place yourself in the service of the paladins, I shall help you get an audience with Lord Hagen.
Dobre, ideme k paladinom.
I have my orders only to accept citizens of the town into the militia. My commander is afraid that spies or saboteurs could sneak in. He wants to limit the risk this way. Therefore, you must first be a citizen of the town. Whether this rule makes sense or not is disputable, but orders are orders.
Ako to nám hra povie? No, akože, ono to nedáva síce zmysel, mohli by sme ťa okamžite prijať sem do služby, lebo si zachránil tresenskú kolónu, teda zrušil si bariéru a zarobil spáča, ale to vôbec nie je podstatné, pretože máme tu nejakú štruktúru hry vytvorenú, vieš, drahý hráč, takže najprv pekne urob kšefty v dolnej časti mesta, potom sa môžeš pridať k nám, paladinom.
Is there a faster way to join you?
You're really serious about this, aren't you? Good. Listen, I have a problem. If you solve it for me, I shall see to it that you are accepted into the militia. But the most important thing is, you must not breathe a word of it to anyone.
What should I expect with the militia?
Let me make one thing clear. To be a soldier of the militia means much more than strolling through the city in uniform. It is a dirty and even bloody job. Once you are one of us, a great deal of work will be waiting for you. But it is worth it. Besides the pay, you might someday have the chance of becoming a holy warrior of Innos.
No ja by som chcel tú zbroj, čo máš? Čo máš za problém?
What's your problem?
Recently, there have been a number of thefts in the city. Thus far, we have not been able to capture anyone. The thieves are simply too skillful. The scum know their business. I'm sure that we're dealing with an organized gang. It would not amaze me if there were a thieves guild in Khorinis. Find the leaders of the gang and hunt them down. Then I shall see to it that you are accepted into the militia, regardless of whether or not you are a citizen. But you must say nothing about our agreement.
Where should I start looking for the thieves?
If I knew that, I'd go there myself. I can only tell you this much. We recently turned the entire harbor district upside down and found nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
People there are not very talkative, particularly if you wear the armor of a paladin. But you are an outsider. They will not distrust you so quickly. You could ask around the harbor first, but be careful. If the people there realize that you are working for the paladins, you will learn nothing.
What should I do once I've found one of the thieves?
If it's a matter of a lackey, a henchman, or some small fry, it would be best if you avoid a fight. You should rather come to me and report. I shall then see to it that the fellow winds up behind bars. The city guard could intervene in an open battle, and you would not have the opportunity of explaining to them what is going on. Furthermore, there is a bounty for every rotten apple you put behind bars. However, if you locate the leader's hideout, well, then you probably won't be able to avoid a fight.
Rozumiem. To je rozumné. A môžem tu mať nejaké ubytovanie. Dobre, klídek, klape.
Wait a minute. How's your duty?
These boys swing their sword, but when I'm done with them,
Môžeš ma
naučiť? Can you
naučiť?
also train me in sword fighting?
Lord Andre has ordered that we train everyone who is in, but that's only true for combat training. All other kinds of training, can you at least halfway handle?
I think so.
All right, you can start when you're ready.
Dobre.
Where should I start, with one-handed or two-handed weapons?
That's entirely... If you specialize in only one type of weapon, you automatically learn the other at the same time. If, for instance, you're good at fighting with one-handed swords, but still a beginner with two-handed weapons, your two-handed skills will go up as well whenever you train with a one-hander. In that case, the training is more exhausting than if you train with both types of weapons. Just start and you'll soon see what I'm talking about.
Ďakujem.
What's it like with the militia?
Lord Andre is our commander now. The militia used to report to the governor. He had no... But Lord Andre knows what he's doing. He takes good care of them.
To rád počujem.
Everyone who starts here, and there are bonuses if you've done a good job.
Dobre.
What are the advantages of one- or two-handed weapons?
Quite simple. With a one-handed weapon, you're faster. That can be a considerable advantage in battle. Two-handed weapons are more ponderous. You have to fight with foresight, but you can do a lot.
I want to join...
So, are you a citizen of the town?
Yeah.
No.
Then Lord Andre won't take you. Sure, you can talk to him, but I don't think...
Urobí výnimku.
Let's begin with the training.
Tak, čo tu môžeme? Akože... Dobre. Urobíme to takto. Máme proste tohto, že nás môže trénovať. To je to podstatné, čo vieme. Akože ja to vidím tak, že keďže som ten slušňák vždy, pridať sa k paladinom, to sa mi páči. Hlavne tá ich zbroj je krásna. A rád by som mal takú zbroj. Dobre ľudia, ale ideme už celkom dlho, 40 minút. A nič nerobíme, chodíme po meste, zabávame sa. Teda nezabávame, proste spoznávame mesto. To bol ako starý tábor, sme to najprv spoznávali. Ja možno poza kamerou robím iba to, že pôjdem mimo mesto a nájdem nejaké, viete, potvory ako vlkov a tak. A skúsim ich teda čo najviac nájsť, iba v blízkom okolí, aby som nenašiel žiadne ďalšie questy. A na budúce začneme teda riešiť situáciu v meste, čo poviete? Takže ďakujem za sledovanie tejto epizódy, prajem príjemný deň, príjemné hranie, majte sa!